great to get a win today. I mean, that's about as simple as I can put it. You know, I'm very proud of our team because, you know, again, I feel like, you know, they've worked every week, and I feel like, you know, again today, they deserved it. They deserved a win, and they deserve for several guys to get to play, which really hadn't happened a whole lot this year. And I'm just proud of them. I'm happy for them. And again, I think this is, you know, something you can build on. Obviously, we got a, you know, great SEC game coming up next weekend. That's going to be extremely tough. But we'll take some things that we did a little better this week than last week, and we'll try to build on those. And we'll continue to, you know, work every day in practice to try to improve. And we know what we got cut out for us next week, but we're going to enjoy tonight and enjoy the victory.
Questions?
Can you talk about Jonathan playing as a true freshman, first star?
You know, I couldn't be more proud of a guy that, you know, I felt like the beginning of the game for him, again, when you're a starting quarterback, I said it during the week, that's a whole, you know, that's a whole different, you know, entity as compared to coming in as a role player and things of that nature. So Jonathan started off a little bit slow, took a big hit in the game and never came out, and just, you know, he's just one of those tough guys. So I couldn't be more proud of him. And you know, we'll look back tomorrow and we'll see some things that obviously he can do better. But overall, I couldn't be more pleased with the way he managed the team, directed the team, made plays at critical times in the game when we needed them. And for a young guy to come in there in his first start, I'm sure he'll be very critical and hard on himself, which is the way he is. But just looking at it from the naked eye, what I know, I'm very proud of the way he performed.
The game was kind of, you know, first half was ugly, I guess you could say. Seven points the first half, and then after Darren Bates' fumble return, it really seemed to spark you. Talk about how that play really kind of changed the momentum of the game.
Well, it did. You know, we've been waiting for something like that to happen defensively for us, you know, all year long, for something big to happen with a turnover or a turnover for a touchdown or something, you know, something big to happen. And I think that certainly gave us a spark. And, you know, as I've said before, this game is so much a game of momentum swings back and forth. And, you know, that was one of the momentum swings that we just really haven't been able to get most of the year. And so I thought that was big for our team to get that. And, you know, again, I think that kind of springboarded us for the rest of that second half.
You got traded to the 20 carry mark, 22 carries on Ontario. Was averaging 14.1. Talk about the running game.
Well, you know, at halftime, you know, they were putting 8, 9 guys up around the line of scrimmage, and we just felt like we still had to run the football, and we had to stay at it, and we had to, you know, we had to stick with it. So we, you know, went back to some counter game and some things where we thought even with 8 or 9 guys down there that we still had an opportunity to, you know, stick ball up there and run it. Sometimes they had to make a guy miss that was, you know, unblocked or whatnot, but you know, they ran the ball well. And Ontario ran the ball well. I was very proud of him tonight on some different things, and Trey ran it well. And you know, again, we just felt like, you know, we had to be able to do that in this game, particularly as you get, you know, in the third and fourth quarter with a team that you feel like you ought to be able to wear down eventually. And you know, that's kind of the way it unfolded.
Gene, that hasn't always been the case. Obviously, the running game this year, sometimes when the defense in the stock box kind of got away from the running game. What was the difference today?
Well, we took several shots down the field, number one. You know, even the one that was really a great catch by Emery on the sideline there, I think was in the third quarter. You know, with Jonathan, we were going to take 5 or 6 shots down the field. And, you know, we just had to do that. And, you know, if they're playing everybody up there, you take 5 or 6 down the field, you're going to hit one, you're going to get pass interference here and there. And so we started to do a little bit more of that, trying to loosen it up some. But still, at the end of the day, we just felt like matchup-wise, us continuing to try to run the football would be our, you know, that would be our advantage at the end. It was hot out. So we just felt like at some point in the third and fourth quarter, we could wear them down some with the running game. But we also, again, took our shots down the field and tried to loosen it up a little bit. You know, those two things combined, we just stuck with it.
What was the discussion at halftime based on what you saw in the first 30 minutes, just a really slow start all around?
Well, you know, again, like, you know, it was very obvious. They put everybody up there and said, you're not going to run the ball. So we had to make a little bit of adjustment, like I said, with the counter game and some things directionally that, that we felt gave us, you know, a chance to run the ball. And but it was based on, you know, some of that. They did a nice job, and they're conceptually they were very bent on putting enough guys up there where we couldn't run it. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that our receivers really got into the perimeter blocking. They really took care of some of their drop down safeties, and we made some big blocks. We were running off the corners. And again, we were able to get some running backs, you know, in there that would make a guy miss here and there. I think Ontario made a couple guys miss on a couple of his big runs.
Jim Rush.
Gene, with some of the emotions after the game, given the score at halftime, the way the last 5 games had gone, was there kind of a sense of relief after the game for you?
I don't know if relief is the right word. There was a lot of guys that were extremely happy, coaches and players in the locker room, and it's been a little while since we've had that feeling. So obviously it was good to see everybody with a smile on their face, and again, you know, have a good win. This football team again. You know, we watched them last week against Louisiana Tech. You know, really played a pretty good football game. And the score was 7-0 at halftime of that game too. And Louisiana Tech, we know, could score a lot of points. So, you know, this wasn't going to be a game where we were going to walk in there and, you know, just roll them over. It was going to take a lot of work. And so I think it was, you know, obviously great to have the win, but it was also, you know, it was great that, you know, we didn't always execute everything just right and just perfect, but we kept pounding away, and ended up, you know, with a win that was very, you know, very good for everybody.